Hello everybody and welcome to another video. This is a little bit of a different format to what I've done in the past. I don't know, I'm just trying something new and see what works. But anyways, the calligraphy that you just saw me write at in the introduction of this video was the two characters that means kitchen and way or path. So I guess since I practice Japanese calligraphy, I guess you would pronounce this in Japanese as Shodo. Shu means kitchen, do means the way or path. The first time I came across the character for kitchen was watching Anthony Bourdain's episode of China. I think that show was No Reservations. He had many shows, but one of the early ones was Anthony Bourdain's No Reservations. And then he went to China, and it was a very short scene. You had to like pause it and take a screenshot to see it. But he was somewhere where someone wrote for him these two characters, and then they translated it as the Tao of the kitchen. Tao means do in Chinese, or the way. And I was always interested in learning how to write that because I'm a cook by trade. My day job is to teach cooking. So I really like the character, have a calligraphy that represents the life of the kitchen or the way of the kitchen. And since I watched that episode many years ago, I have written the way of the kitchen many times. And so I believe that in Japanese they don't really use this character to represent kitchen. This is definitely an old Chinese character. And I believe that unfortunately sometimes this character and the way that you read it as Shu might have a different meaning that's not very nice. So I think that that happens with all languages when some words can mean many different things depending on the context that you use it. But I don't want to use any derogatory meaning for this character. I'm really looking at the meaning of kitchen. So the pronunciation, the Japanese pronunciation, or the onyomi pronunciation would be shu and do. So shudo is how I would call this. But anyways, why specifically today I am talking about the way of the kitchen? Well, I've had this book for a very long time. It's called Zen and the Art of Calligraphy, The Essence of Sho, and it was written by Omori Sogen and Terayama Kasujo, and it was translated by John Stevens. So I've had this book for a very long time. It's out of print, unfortunately, so you can probably get it on eBay, but it costs over $100 or even more. I'm not really sure why, but I really like this book specifically because it was written by Omori Sogen, which is the main Zen teacher that brought my lineage of Zen from Japan to the West. So I'm inclined on reading a lot of his writings. I'm inclined on reading a lot of his texts about Zen and calligraphy. And the style of calligraphy that I practice is heavily influenced by Omori Sogen and the style of calligraphy that he practiced, because besides being a Zen teacher, he was also a martial arts master and a calligraphy master. So I've read this book a bazillion times, and every once in a while I like to go back and revisit it and read some passages. And I came through this passage that I have read before, again, many times, but it doesn't resonate the same way every single time. So I would like to read the passage to you and explain a little bit how this is all tied back to the kitchen. So there's a section here that talks about ki and art. Ki being the word that we use as the harmonization of your ki or chi with physical action. So in this section, he's talking about the relationship between ki and art. And it says, my late calligraphy teacher, Yokoyama Setsudo, which lived from 1883 to 1966, once told his students, 3 things are necessary to master the way of calligraphy: strong conviction, correct posture, and proper diet. So then he goes to explain the other 2, but later on in another paragraph, he says, concerning the last requirement of Setsudo's theory, however, there might be some difficulty. Yeah. What possible relationship can there be between one's diet and the practice of calligraphy? It is not an unreasonable question. I myself wrote in a postscript to Setsudo collected talks. Our teacher felt that the basis of health lies in the food we eat and that a proper diet was extremely important. Nevertheless, the diet he recommended, brown rice and vegetables, is not the final word on this subject. Ultimately, each person must devise the diet best suited to his or her needs after considering the problem from every single angle. So, all of a sudden, calligraphy and cooking are related, and I'm not surprised at all, since cooking, it can be a great vehicle for Zen practice, and that might be a subject for another video. But in this video, I wanted to focus on diet and calligraphy. Can we unpack that a little bit? So the first 2 are easy to understand, like Omori Sogen says. The first one being strong conviction. Well, a strong conviction is to have, I guess it's like a strong opinion or a strong belief about something. Well, you do have to have strong conviction. You do have to have some sort of belief in what you're writing and the skills and the techniques that you are learning in order to have good calligraphy. I think that one is pretty straightforward. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the teachings that you are acquiring. You have to believe in the lessons that you're given. You have to believe in what you're doing. Otherwise, there's just no reason for doing that. So we understand strong conviction. Posture is super important. And I actually, on my last weekly article that I sent to my email list, I actually wrote about the power of posture and how the power of the way that you align your body can have an effect on your mind and your calligraphy or other activities that you do, mundane daily activities like walking, driving, sitting on the couch, watching TV. Having a good, correct posture can have a significant effect on your state of mind. So having a good posture is definitely stressed in the practice of calligraphy. We have a way that we sit, whether we sit at the table, whether we sit on the floor, whether we sit with our knees folded, or we sit on a chair. We have a way that we consider to be the right posture to hold the brush, hold the paper, and be able to write correctly. So we understand, pretty easy to understand and accept that posture is necessary for good calligraphy. So strong conviction, good posture, no problem. So now the other one is the diet, and that one can be really tricky and sometimes a little bit difficult to explain. And the angle that I want to tackle this, and I have to somehow use my brain as a cook, but at the same time my brain as a calligrapher and a Zen practitioner and a martial artist, and all these brains kind of coming together, and then they contradict each other. But right now my cook brain wants to win. It wants to say, no, this is the way. You know, that's me dealing with my many dualisms, I guess. But and from if I put my chef hat on, I wish I had one right now, but I don't. But if I put my chef hat on, I would tell you that, well, that's definitely important, because whatever you put in your body is what you're made of. Is the old saying of tell me what you eat and I'll tell you what you are. So whatever you put in your body is going to metabolize it and it's going to become part of you. So the food that you consume is going to have an enormous effect on how your body is going to perform. It goes without saying that a lot of the many illnesses that we experience today can be prevented and can be tied directly to diet or nutrition, right? So if we want to get better, if we want to get healthier, the first thing that we're prescribed is a better diet, right? Cut calories or cut fat or cut carbohydrates, raise up protein, you name it. So without getting too much into that, the scientific side of things, but if we look at it from a little bit more of a, I guess, for lack of a better word, would be a spiritual, from a spiritual lens, is that food that we're consuming, that food, that the intake of the food is being metabolized, the body is metabolizing it, and that becomes energy. And this is not, I say, even though we put our spiritual lens, but this is nothing spiritual about it. This is science, right? The food is what gives the body energy, okay? So that energy is what we need to do all of our actions. So when you are trying to do anything physical, you need energy. So that energy is being provided by the food that you are eating. When it comes to calligraphy, and I've felt this myself personally, and I would be interested if anybody here have felt the same way, is that I cannot really practice when I'm hungry. I cannot, and I don't think that I do my best work in times of the day when I have not eaten. And not unlike when I go to the dojo to train, or I will go to the gym to practice, or anything physical, I go out for a run, doesn't matter what a physical activity is, I cannot do it if I have not properly eaten, if I don't feel like I have energy in my body. So for me, the best time that I do the times that I do my best work of calligraphy has been at night, where I have already gone through my day, I have already gone through my work, and I have had breakfast, lunch, snacks, dinner, and I am completely satisfied, and this is when I can actually do my best calligraphy work. I'm not feeling hungry, I'm not feeling that I am lethargic, or that I have any inefficiencies of energetic resonance within my body. Also, besides eating, rest is also tied to this, right? So if I don't feel like I'm rested, I usually cannot do very good. So when I read that passage, and this all came back to me, and it's like, you know what, it's interesting. Sometimes when we talk about what makes good calligraphy, or art for that matter, we always want to look at it from a technique point of view. Okay, well, did you do this stroke correctly? Did you do the order correctly? Did you do, how well does the thing that, the piece that you wrote looks to the exemplar? Like, well, we can take a ruler and say, you know what, that point in the exemplar is facing this way, but you made it face a little bit this way. So, and we can get caught up in all those details and not really think about, well, what was the reason why you couldn't make it look correct? What was the reason, right? And I have many students have expressed how frustrating calligraphy practice can be, because you're constantly being pointed what you did wrong. You know, well, this looks this doesn't look correct. This stroke's a little too thick. This stroke is a little too thin. This stroke is facing upwards, what it should be facing a little straighter. And we can get into the nitty-bitty greedy details, and a lot of people just sort of kind of like, you know what, I'm done. So, and that is unfortunate. But I wanted to kind of go back and ask and have some of the students think, what caused that? What part of the day did you decide to pick up the brush? What were you rested? Were you well fed? Did you eat? Did you feel that you have enough energy? And if you ate, what did you eat? Are you trying to do calligraphy after you ate 8 slices of pepperoni pizza and 2 or 4 beers? Maybe you can do great calligraphy after that. I certainly can't. You know, that I eat pizza and I drink beer on Fridays, and I usually don't do any calligraphy on Friday night. So did you had a good meal? Did you feel good within your body, and that you have enough energy to be able to manifest that energy outwards, and then that can be imprinted in a piece of paper? So anyways, a little bit of a kind of a ramble video, but I hope that some of you find this helpful, that there are many things that are required to be in the right state of both body and mind to do, in this case, calligraphy, but it could really be to do anything. And I think that when we talk about what Amori Sogen said in the book, that you need strong conviction, proper posture, and strong conviction, correct posture, and proper diet, that could be applied to a lot of things that we want to do. So that's it for what I have for right now. If you are interested in learning the basic of Japanese calligraphy, what I teach, the basic techniques for beginners that don't know anything to be able to write 1 or 2 characters, check out my 6-week introductory course. The link is down below. And if you're interested in all things calligraphy, Zen, and martial arts, please visit my website, gohitsushodokai.com. Link is down below. And that's it for today. And I will see you in the next video, when I think I'm just gonna turn the camera on and talk to you. Okay? Have a good one.